So I wanted to do a deeper dive on Avril Haines, who is Biden's pick for the National Security Director, or yeah, Director of National Intelligence. Okay. Um, some of the things that I'm looking into as I'm looking into this particular person, she has an interesting past, of course, as in my earlier video you saw a few things I pointed out. Um, just to let you know, she was tasked in 2015 with determining whether there were personnel in the CIA involved in hacking computers of the people who were authoring the Senate intelligence report on this CIA torture that was going on. Uh, so apparently, there was a report being put together by some Senate staffers that were talking about some potential things that CIA officials were doing that were not very nice, and it was including torturing prisoners. This lady was tasked to find out who could be hacking into the computers where that report set. That's based on what I'm reading here, is what it kind of says to me. Why was she concerned about someone hacking into a report that was trying to tell the American public that CIA agents were maybe not always on the up and up and some of the things they were doing were wrong? That I question. Another thing that I question is she also played a significant role working closely with John Brennan to determine a policy based on targeted killings by drones. Now, this was an Obama policy on drone killings, but the ACLU said drone killings are not something that we should be doing. It's not, it's totally, as far as human rights go, international human rights, yeah, failing to meet international human rights. Let's send drones to just go randomly target and kill people. This was an Obama policy, and this lady who Biden just put in place of our national intelligence had a hand in Obama's policy on these targeted killings by drones. That to me raises a red flag as being a little concerning. Another thing that we see is this Avril Haines lady. She owned a bookstore. Now this is when she was younger, and it sounds fun. I would think a bookstore, that would be fun to do. But whenever you go and you look into the bookstore that she owned, it says that it was known for having an unusual collection of literary offerings. What that means, I do not know. But when I go over here to the Baltimore Sun and I look and see what they're saying about it, I come up to the link that talks about her bookstore and some of the things that she actually said. And this is quote from this Avril Haines, who Biden put as our National Intelligence Security Director. She says, erotica has become more prevalent because people are trying to have sex without having sex. I don't know what that means. This is her in her own words. Others are trying to find new fantasies to make their monogamous relationships more satisfying. What the erotic offers is spontaneity, twists and turns, and it affects everyone. Now, this is supposedly going to be our director of our national security and intelligence, and Biden thinks that this lady's wonderful. Don't forget, she worked with John Brennan, and she helped that Obama policy of drone killing. So, and then she also was tasked to look into why people might be looking into the report that was talking about CIA torturing. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of red flags. Personally, you can judge for yourself. I'm just putting this information out there. Um, Now listen, she goes on to say about, in her quote here, about this erotica in her unusual collection of different literature that she has in her little bookstore. After she's said this, then she said about these books that apparently are sandwiched in between her self-help and her parenting books. And that's kind of that's interesting, but whatever. She says everything that's repressed, guttural, instinctual, chaotic, and creative. Now, to me, that statement right there is concerning. So you guys can be the judge. You can think what you want. I'm just putting some information out there about these people. I'm going to keep putting information out there. I'm concerned about, who is going to be in charge of our global and national security, what their backgrounds are, what their beliefs are, what the morality of these people are like, and what are freedoms that are going to potentially be taken away or, uh, you know, even given over to a one world government. I definitely have a concern about that for sure. So, especially with her connection with John Kerry and his big push for this green global agenda, which will, put us in there with the WHO and Paris and all of that. So, here we go again. Gonna keep these videos going. I try to keep them under 10 minutes, and you guys can leave comments or feedback. For anyone out there telling me that I sound unintelligent or I'm stupid, I'm used to that. That's just kind of the liberal rhetoric that I get anytime that I point out things that might go against their support for this extreme liberal elitism that is being pushed. So that's my info for now, and I'll catch you in the next video.